Welcome back to the podcast. Of course, as always, I'm Brandon, also known as Kid Punk, and I am joined by Marin, also known as El Rambo, the Incredible Mulk, however you like to call him. And
Yes,
welcome,
sir.
and welcome to our Halloween episode, where we will be talking about just Halloween type films in general, from thrillers, horror, slasher films, just anything with Halloween vibes in it.
Sir, anything and everything. All
Yep,
right.
that's it. And to start off, we're going to start off with the horror films that we have seen this year, which I only seen like 2 of them. Marin, on the other hand, have seen a lot of them.
Yeah, I've only seen like maybe 5 or 6 of them now that I think about it. Not all of them. I wish I've seen all of them. But yeah, first off, Brandon, I guess.
Yep. First off, we're going to talk about Nope.
Oh yeah, nope.
We meant to review
Nope.
that earlier, but we were still trying to figure out what to do with the podcast at the time. Anywho, so Nope.
Anywho, yeah. Jumping into Nope. What were your thoughts?
Okay, so off the bat, I'm not gonna lie. I feel like this is probably my least favorite from Jordan Peele, but at the same time, it was still a really good one.
Well, even though Brandon hasn't seen Us, he's only seen
Yeah,
Get Out.
I love Get Out. I have not seen Us, but I love Get Out more than this film. But with this film, though, it was with Nope. It was a very interesting concept, and I feel like Jordan Peele did nail it. I don't know. He's, in my opinion, he is a genius. He could combine comedy and horror, suspense, and all that, and just blend it all together perfectly.
Yeah, I really like his shots. Like if you look at the night shot, which most of this movie does take place at night,
No, what's
but
funny
he
though, I think they actually filmed most of this stuff in the day, and then in editing and all that, they made it look like night. I
yeah,
was reading
they
something
did
about
really
that.
good with that. They did really good with that. The night
But
shots look amazing. It was shot with IMAX cameras too. I think this is the first time he shot a movie with IMAX cameras, and we watched it in IMAX, and it paid off really well,
it was
in my
awesome.
opinion. I don't know if we want to get into spoilers, but this movie had one of out of all Jordan Peele's movies, this movie probably had one of the most terrifying scenes for me. You know,
Oh, it was kind of
that one.
disturbing.
Yeah, I mean, I
Okay,
know,
so
like, I get it
let's
that
get
this
into
movie.
sport. Okay, spoiler warning. We're gonna like kind of get into a spoiler for this film, but let's kind of break down the scene.
All right. Well, the most terrified scene. There's two of them actually, but the I guess I'll talk about the one that was kind of like suspenseful or tense at times, but it wasn't really like involved with the plot at all. It was when the rival ranch crew members or their sons
Oh, the
come into
kids.
they come dressed up like as aliens. But the first time watching this, you don't know that they're just,
Yeah,
people dressed up. So you think that these are actually aliens. And the way they just slowly like walk up to the main character, I'm
yeah, like
forgetting his name in the movie, but the main character, and it just looks really suspenseful, really like
yeah,
freaky. I was like, whoa.
yeah. The
But
suspense was just done perfectly.
come to find out they were just kids in costumes.
Yeah.
That
But
was a
like,
really tense scene. That was a really
no,
memorable scene as well.
there were 2 others too, because the scene where like the sip suck up all the people too.
That was the
That
one I was
was
gonna get into next. The
so
second one, that
that one
was
stands
the
out a lot.
for me. Like, I agree that Nope isn't my favorite Jordan Peele movie, but that scene when you see the alien sucking up you know,
The people,
the ranch goers or whatever they're called, the
yeah,
festival
like
goers.
yeah, the like
It's
the
just you hear the screams they yell and you see them actually
yeah.
getting digested. I'm kind of claustrophobic, so when I saw that, I was like, oh no, I don't know what I would do in that situation, how I would react.
It
I
was
would just, myself off, man, because there's no way I would want to be eaten alive like
yeah,
that.
that was kind of disturbing to watch because it's like, wait, what? Huh? Oh God! And
Yeah.
then several scenes later, or like several minutes later, it's just spills out all the guts, the blood, and all that onto the house. It was just
Yeah, it
it was
was a
pretty
fun movie
gory.
for sure.
It was pretty gory. But like the third scene I mentioned though, it's the gorillas, the monk scene where like he just goes crazy and like starts killing the family pretty much.
Oh, the chimpanzee in
The
the beginning
chimpanzee.
shot,
Yeah,
or not
like
the yeah, yeah, I remember what you're talking
oh,
about.
it's
That
kind of
was
like
really messed
throughout
up.
the film. That was mad. That kind of scarred me, honestly.
Yeah,
So
Jordan Peele knows how to do that.
I'm not gonna lie, I don't really understand how that plays with the film, kind of, but at the same time, it's like, okay, it's interesting.
I get what they were kind of going for because they were trying to say, you can't contain a wild animal.
Yeah.
And the guy who played the young actor, or that was his younger self, he didn't. I guess he
Steven
didn't learn
Yeun,
that lesson.
Steven Yen, I believe is his name. Who
Yeah,
was
he didn't.
who is
He
Glenn on
didn't.
The Walking Dead?
Yeah,
Rest
who
in
also
peace,
died in
Glenn.
that one.
He got killed by he got killed by a baseball bat in The Walking Dead, and then he got killed by aliens in this, but still.
Well, he didn't learn his lesson, because
Yep.
he was in that show, and the chimpanzee is a
Yeah.
wild animal, and they try to contain that wild animal.
Now, what's interesting though was the
Same thing happened with the
chimpanzee
alien.
wasn't going
Huh?
to attack him though.
It wasn't, but he already killed like three
I
people,
know,
or he killed
but
two people and
two people.
disfigured the sister.
Yeah, that was disturbing. Just hearing just the noises of him just bashing into the bodies and like
Yeah.
I don't know. That was just kind of just hearing the
So that
noises of
kind
the
of
people was disturbing. Honestly, it was like,
that
oh
kind of
god.
aligns with what he was doing with the alien ship. He was trying to like contain the alien ship, trying to like, like I guess use the alien for his own gains. Like they were using the
Yeah,
chimpanzee for their own gains. That's
yeah, but
why kind of correlated with with the film and the show. In my opinion.
yeah, but anyway, Nope was a really good movie. I give it an 8.5 out of 10.
Yeah, at least A minus for sure. A
Yeah, A
minus. It was a
minus.
good film
Another
for me.
great film for Jordan Peele, and I cannot wait to see what he directs and writes next because he is a genius.
All right. What else
Now,
can then we could talk to the next project that came out this year?
Prey,
Oh yeah,
which is the
Prey.
best film in the Predator film series. I don't care if anyone's upset about that. I'm sorry, but it is true because
Yeah, I also
holy
agree.
crap, this
Prey was
film was
really good.
awesome.
Brandon's seen all the Predator films, and I've
Yes.
seen the first two, and the first two are like '80s film, kind of like, so you get that. And I didn't grow up in the '80s, so I don't have that nostalgia
Like
for them. Or are
with
they
the
'90s film? Either one.
yeah, with the 90s, it kind of like felt more like a suspenseful thriller, but yet still has that 80s corniness vibes to it.
Yeah, I really
But
like the
with
Prey
this,
movie.
after that though, it's just I don't know. The second one kind of felt too goofy at times. The third one and fourth one was just something else. But like this one felt more in line with the first one, but better in my
Yeah,
opinion.
I also agree, man. The Prey movie was really good, man. I'm surprised they didn't release it in theaters, which I understand because it's owned by Fox and Disney owns Fox, and I think they were planning on having a theoretical, what is it?
The
They were planning on having
theoretical release.
yeah, that, but I don't know what happened with the deal with Fox that they had to just move it on to streaming
I'm not
services.
gonna lie, I don't think it would have made money. That's the problem, though.
I guess, but it would have been cool to see this in theaters.
Yeah,
It was a really good film. I
yeah, I
100%
liked it.
recommend. I wouldn't say it had many horror
It had more thriller
elements in
vibes
it.
and suspenseful vibes
Yeah,
that
yeah.
gave it a horror
Suspenseful.
film, horror feel to it.
Well, the Predator, he's a horror legend. He's a
Hmm.
horror icon. And to see how he or how his species looked back in the day, competing with our ancestors, it was a really interesting twist to the story.
Yeah, and there's several callbacks to the some films in like the within the Predator franchise, even though this takes place before it, but it's like there's some connections to it also that like sets up.
Let's talk about our favorite kills in the movie. You could go first. What was your favorite kills in the movie?
Ooh, probably when like they try to use the girl to trap him,
Yeah. Oh, and
and
he
he
just
just
goes off on all the Frenchmen
yeah,
with all his weapons and stuff. That was a pretty badass
that was
scene.
awesome. But yeah,
I guess my favorite kill of the movie wouldn't. It's not really with a human. It was with one when he was fighting the bear.
oh, that
Do you
was a good
remember
one too. Yeah.
she the beaver dam and he
Mhm.
just I'm trying to remember. It's been a while since the movie, but I think he just rips the bear like like right through the middle. He's
Oh yeah,
invisible and you see. Oh man, that was a really good scene.
I just him being invisible and like kind of like the main character like Watson, like what is this? It's just like I mentioned
I
though, it
was
adds suspenseful vibes. It adds horror vibes. Similar with
yeah.
the first film, how it had all those vibes also.
With the also another good kill was the ending kill where she kills the predator
Oh
herself
yeah.
using his own weapons, which is something that Arnold did in the first one. That was a
Mm-hmm.
callback. He there's a whole montage of her like setting up the traps, and same thing with the first Predator movie. There is a whole montage of Arnold just setting up traps, and that
Yeah.
was a fun to see, fun to watch. Really good horror movie or really good film in general for
Yes, and
2022.
I do hope we get more if they do ever do more Predator films. I hope they do more like this in a way, more like with this type of feel and not like go full sci-fi like the fourth one did, where it's just in the end it kind of gave off Independence Day 2 vibes.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, agree, man. For sure. I would rate this
9 out of 10 for
mm,
me. I give it an A.
9 out of 10.
Yeah,
Solid A, yeah. I guess
it
I
was
agree.
it was good. This is a I if you haven't watched this film on Hulu right now or Disney Hotstar, whatever
Wherever you're hearing this from.
whatever it is in the other countries, since Hulu is only in the States. But yeah, and those are unfortunately like the only two I have seen for this year. Marin, on the other hand, watched several others.
Yeah, now
So
that I think about it. Well, the only other, well, I wouldn't say I've only seen two more, which is Barbarian and Halloween Ends, but I was looking at the list of movies that came out this year. I remember I saw Fresh, and Fresh was a good one too. I guess I could get
I've
into that one first.
I've heard many good things about that one. And then weirdly enough,
For
people are saying
sure.
how Sebastian Stan was in that one, even though I know about his character in that one. I was like, huh?
Yeah, Fresh was a good movie for sure. I really liked it. Really liked the. I guess I'm gonna get into spoilers right off the back, but it was really so. The point of the movie is a girl. She's trying online dating and she meets up with this guy, Sebastian Stan's character, and they hit it off. He's a great guy, but he invites her to like stay a weekend at his cottage. And the main chick has like a friend that she's like, hey, don't do that. You just met this guy. You've only been dating him for like a couple weeks. It's not a good idea. But her being her horny ass hasn't gotten any D for a while. Just goes, f you, and just goes with the guy to his cabin.
I mean, it's
They chilled
Sebastian
out.
Stan. Can you blame her?
I guess. I guess it's really fun. He makes dinner, which if you don't know the movie, but he's a cannibal. So she's eating this meat and she doesn't know what the meat is. But as the viewer watching the trailer and everything, you know what the meat is. So he's feeding her,
Human.
I guess, human meat. Yeah, and the movie is kind of slow at the beginning, so it starts off really slow. So like the first 15 to 20 minutes is just introducing the chick, her dilemma of like trying of dating. Kind of like if you guys seen She-Hulk when she does all that online dating, same kind of thing. She meets a whole bunch
Okay.
of guys that are just a bunch of assholes. She meets this one guy who's not an asshole, but turns out he's a fucking psycho.
He kills
So
people and
yeah, he
cuts
only
them
kills
up,
women.
eats them, or sells them, something like that, I believe, is what I heard.
Yeah. So after dinner, he makes her a drink. She passes out. The drink was drugged. She wakes up chained in one of his rooms, and she's there. She's in her own room, but she can hear other women screaming. There's like two other girls with her, and they're all screaming. She finds out that he comes into the room and tells her like, "Hey, I'm gonna eat you. I'm gonna sell your meat to rich people. They like buying human meat, and that's his job." And the movie goes from there.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
I heard it's
there's
like
one
a
part.
dark comedy though.
It yeah, kind of. There's one part where she tries to run off. He knocks her out. She wakes up and she lost her ass. She has like no ass in the
Oh,
movie. She
I
loses her
heard
ass.
I heard
Yeah.
about that. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, man, it's a gory movie. Yeah, really gory movie. My favorite kill, I think there's only technically one kill in the movie that you see on screen, and it's him. She just bashes his face. Him and her and the other girl. Like I think all three girls actually bash his face at the end of the movie when they try to escape.
Ooh, that's
So
karma.
yeah, you should watch that movie for sure, Brandon.
I
Really
will.
good movie.
I plan on watching it soon.
Really good movie. Uh I don't know if I would get an A.
Probably like a B
Man,
minus,
this
a
is
B plus.
yeah, B plus. I would say high 89, close to
Hmm,
90, 89, 90 area. It was a good film.
nice.
Recommend watching it if you're into that kind of stuff. So
Okay.
yeah, for sure. Not my favorite horror film of the year, but it was pretty good. All right, on to the next one I saw this year, which I could get into is Barbarian.
I heard you were talking nothing but good stuff about this one.
Barbarian, probably my favorite horror slasher thriller whatever movie of the year so far. I still have to
Really?
see X and I still have to see Smile, but Barbarian is probably the best one I've seen this year so far. Really good. Justin Long, I think is the actor's name,
Yeah.
right?
Yes, I
Really
believe
good in
so.
the film.
What's
Really good
funny,
film.
I heard they originally wrote the role for Zac Efron in mind, but Zac Efron declined
Really?
it. So and then they're like, "Oh, let's get Justin Long," and I think they kind of like changed some stuff to fit him perfectly, and they're like, "Okay, yeah, this is perfect."
Yeah. Yeah, I can see why he would decline it. His character in the film isn't really his character in the film is accused of sexual or SA. I guess I can't say that in YouTube, but he's accused of SA in a co-star. So I can see why Zac Efron wouldn't want to
Uh,
take that role.
Yikes!
So the film is just about a girl that's going into an Airbnb, Airbnb, right?
Something like
Yeah,
that.
whatever. She goes to an Airbnb and she come to find out it's in a sketchy community, but come to find out there's somebody in her Airbnb. They both find out that they booked the same day on different websites.
Who is
Uh,
the guy who
yeah,
played
who's played from
Pennywise?
Bill Skarsgård, William
Pennywise,
Skarsgård.
from the iconic It films.
Yeah,
Yeah, the first one was
he's
iconic.
kind of
Second
giving
one,
off
not so
creepy
much.
vibes. He's like a weird dude. Just in general, that actor looks like a creepy dude. But
Yes,
she doesn't
yes.
want to. She doesn't really have anywhere else to go. All the hotels are booked, so she just decides to stay with the guy. The guy, he gives off creepy vibes, but he's like, he's a nice guy. Makes her
Yep.
coffee, gives her the room. He sleeps on the couch. Nothing bad happens the first night.
Yet.
Yeah, yeah. The second night or the second day, she goes off to her interview. He goes off to do his stuff. When she comes back, she's alone in the house and she hears noise coming from the Oh no, she has to get toilet paper from the basement. Goes to the basement and finds a hidden door. That door leads miles and miles down underground,
Wow.
and that's where the movie really begins. So the movie's kind of I wouldn't say slow. It starts off pretty good, but William Skarsgård's character comes to the house, sees her screaming, like she's trapped in the basement, sees her screaming and all that. He goes down to check the basement out. She says no. He goes down anyways, and he doesn't come back. He's just literally he's so she's like, dude, what are you doing? The audience thinks that he's like playing with her, tricking her, but his and I'm gonna spoil it, but one of the brutal kills in the movie is his character getting killed by whatever it was that was in the basement, You see
Justin
his
Long?
face getting bashed in. Oh, William Saskar.
I was asking, was the
It's
killer Justin Long?
no, it's a mutant.
Oh
It's
man,
a,
okay.
it's an incest mutant.
Oh, the little girls.
Yeah. So then the movie just turns to black. It cuts to black, and we skip to Justin Long's character, who's the owner of the property. He's the one. He's an actor, famous actor. He's driving through LA, but his agent calls him. He gets accused
He's
for
canceled.
SAing a girl. He's canceled technically, so he's cut off the show. And so he has to and he's like all his assets, it's just gone. Like his money's gone. He's like putting all his money into the lawyer to fight the case. So he has to go to
Dang.
his properties and check them out to see if he could sell them. He goes to the Airbnb, the one that the girl and William Saskard character were staying at, and he's checking it out. He has to stay the night there. Come to find out that his character is an asshole. He goes to the bar that night. He gets drunk, and he when he gets home, he calls the chick that accused him of SAing, and he admits it on phone, saying, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that, whatever. So we come to find out that he is an asshole, that he actually
Mm.
did what they're accusing him of.
I believe the film is on HBO Max now, actually. So
It is. I mean, I think it is. You should watch it too, man. He goes
yeah,
to the basement. He finds a hidden door. In his mind, he doesn't think like, "Oh, that's a hidden door, and it's a tunnel that leads underground. I shouldn't go in there. I should call the police." No, his mind is like, "Wow, I just found a hidden tunnel. That means I have more property space. That means I could charge more for this house when I sell it." So he gives a measuring tape and starts going down the tunnel to see how many foot it is, how many more square foot it is, so he can sell the freaking house for more.
oh boy,
He's
I bet.
captured by the mutant, and from there, I won't tell you anymore. But the mutant the whole rest of the movie is just Justin Long and the chick running from the mutant, trying to escape the mutant.
Dang,
For one of the more funniest, funny horror comedies this year.
it was
Really
a
good movie.
comedy.
Oh yeah,
Oh.
yeah, it's a horror comedy.
Okay, I
For me,
was not.
funnier than Fresh. Honestly, better than
Wow,
Fresh. I would give that movie an A+ for sure. One of the high movies of this year.
I was not expecting that, but okay,
Oh,
interesting.
Justin Long usually only Justin Long usually only does horror comedy movies.
Yeah, true. Can't blame
Yeah,
him
it's
on
a it's
that.
a horror comedy movie.
Okay,
The comedy
I'll have
doesn't
to
really
look into.
the comedy doesn't really kick in until like the second part of the movie with Justin Long's character comes
Mm-hmm.
into it. But I mean the beginning. Not to say that the beginning part is too scary. It's just like getting to set the environment and the grounds.
Oh
But
yeah.
it's mostly a horror comedy movie. I took my little cousin and we were busting out laughing our asses throughout the whole movie.
Yeah, I remember you were telling me how he was just scared at first.
Yeah, but then we were just busting our ass laughing. There's just one scene. I'm not gonna spoil it for anybody because I need you guys to watch that. I need you to watch it. One of the ending scenes when you see it, you know what I'm gonna talk about. You know what I'm talking about, but you need to watch that, Brandon, for sure. We could watch it one night in Discord. But yeah,
Uh,
that's my review for Barbarian. Funny movie, best movie of the year, in my opinion, so far. And I guess I could get into the last horror movie that I saw this year, which was Hellraiser 2022.
I heard. I haven't really heard much about that one, to be honest.
It's getting mixed reviews, and I can see why.
Okay.
So if any fans of the original Hellraiser and the Cenobites and all that, there's a cult following for that. The original Hellraiser movies are iconic. At least the first two.
Yeah,
The rest are just
they're just
not
there.
that
Like
good.
I feel like it's
They're
like that
really
with
not
every
that great.
horror film. To be honest, that becomes huge franchises.
Yeah, yeah, I agree, man. The rest of them are just. Well, this one is technically a remake, reboot, whatever. Has nothing
Mm-hmm.
to do with the first one. Some people say that they can see them existing together in the same universe, but this Hellraiser is. When I watch it, I just see it as its own thing. It was
Do you
the movie
watch?
starts off. Yeah, I watched the whole thing. All the
No,
original
do you
ones I've
watch
seen
any of the original ones?
the first two.
Oh, okay, I guess it doesn't matter though, since this is a reboot.
Yeah, I remember as a kid, we used to have. I think we watched the one with the. Yeah, I don't even know which one it was, but the VCH or the DVD cover was a Pinhead with a bunch of green letters like the Matrix in front of him.
Hmm,
But this
interesting.
Hellraiser is totally different from those. It has nothing to do with the original cast or anything like that. It's about a chick. I'm bad with names, so I'm just gonna keep referring to them as this one girl who finds the oh man, what is that box? I forgot the box. I'm not a big Hellraiser fan, as you can tell, but the I think it's called the configuration box. She solves it, and now she's cursed with the having the Cenobites come up to her. So the Cenobites are like I don't know, they didn't really explain it into this movie, but in the original movies, the Cenobites are humans that messed with the box and got uh transported into hell, or got teleported into hell, whatever you want to say, and they were turned into these demons. So they're humans that turn into demons that are into a sadistic nature. So they like the feeling of pain. That's why you can see some of the Cenobites in this movie with their nipples ripped off or their skins coming off,
Uh,
you know, pins and
that's
needles all
gross.
over their head because they like the torture of it. They like inflicting pain because they're just bored of human desire. They want something new. That's the whole point of them. So yeah, uh, I can't really give much. I don't know what to say about this movie, honestly. The whole plot is just basically the same of the original one. She finds the box, she solves it. The box, the demon's Pinhead, instead of taking her, took the life of her brother, which is I forgot his name, but his brother. He takes the Pinhead takes the life of her brother, and the whole movie is her trying to figure out what happened to her brother.
Hmm.
They go to this one house that has supposedly where the guy that had the box the first time, he's that's his old house, I guess. They think he's dead. We'll come to find out he's the reason he's still alive, and he has a big chunk of metal right through his chest, which is it looked really disgusting in the movie. It's like a big clock, and every time it turns, it just rips like bits and pieces of his skin. So this movie's really gory. If you don't have the stomach to watch that kind of stuff, I wouldn't recommend watching that stuff.
I'm not
I
gonna lie,
wouldn't say
this movie
it's
sounds awful, to be honest.
well, you're not a yeah. I understand why you
I
wouldn't
don't
want to
know.
watch it.
Doesn't interest
It's
me
not
like
really
that.
a horror. You're not gonna see a lot of scary elements in it, but
There's a bunch
if
of
you're a big fan of the Hellraiser series and if you're a big horror movie fan, you're gonna love this for sure. Because it's a remake. You want remakes to do well, so they can keep making them.
sometimes remakes are good, sometimes remakes
This
aren't
remake,
good though.
this remake was really good. My opinion, better than the Texas Chainsaw remake that came out on
I
Netflix, which I heard many bad
I
reviews
yeah,
about.
I heard terrible stuff about that one.
But this Hellraiser movie was pretty well, man. Pretty well done. Pretty well executed. I love how the Cenobites look in this movie. They look like actual demons or actual humans with messed up body parts, messed up skin. Oh man, I some of these the chatter, his face just I can't get it out of my head. And the gory scenes where the Cenobites are torturing the human movie or the humans, her friends, really
Yeah.
really scarred me, dude. Man, there's a part one of the gory one of the I guess goriest or most memorable kills of this movie was when one of the Cenobites, I think, yeah, Pinhead grabs a needle from her head and sticks it in through the. You can see it. They have a POV of her throat. It goes inside one of the chick's throat. You can see the needle just coming through the one side of the throat and going out the other one,
Oh
in and
wow.
out. Yeah. Did you ever watch the Saw movies when you were a kid?
No, I only thing of Saw I ever watched was the parody that was done with it with the scary movie
Oh,
work.
yeah.
But
So yeah. Overall, I'll give it a solid B. This movie was it's if you're a horror fan, you would like it, but for sure not the best horror film of 2022.
All right, and would you like to talk about everyone's favorite Halloween Ends?
No, but I guess I will. Uh,
It's
I guess
that
I
bad,
will.
then.
It's not that bad. It's just not a Halloween movie, in my opinion. Michael Myers is only in it for like literally the last bit. The
I heard
movie's
about
literally,
that.
yeah, the movie's it's okay, you know.
Hmm.
It starts off with a guy who is babysitting a kid, and the kid ends up dying, and they don't blame the death on him, but the parents just end up hating him, or at least the mom does. You know, everybody in the town starts spreading rumors about him, like, hey, that's the guy that killed that kid. You know, blah blah blah. The actor was he not to say his performance was bad. He was a good actor. I think he was just written bad. You know, in my opinion, it just didn't make sense. You know, I wanted to watch this movie when I wanted to watch this Halloween movie. I'm going in to watch a Michael Myers film. You know, I'm not going in
Yeah,
to watch just a random guy becoming a serial killer who ends up
yeah,
dying anyways. So making no sense why we had to follow this guy's whole freaking story.
yeah. Like I heard how like the trailers. Please, I never seen a Halloween film. I've been wanting to. I just don't know where to start because there's so many.
You got to start with the original
I know
John
start with the
Carpenter.
original one, but I don't know just to watch
And then if you just want to follow
all
this
of the whole.
trilogy, no, you don't have to watch everything. But if you just want to watch this new trilogy, you just start off with the original one. You go to the 2018 one, then you go
Yeah,
to the 2021. And then if you want to watch the Halloween Ends, you could watch Halloween Ends. But in my
but
opinion, you could watch the original one and you could watch 2018, and that's it. Because the rest, I mean, well, Halloween Kills is also it's also a good movie, and you see more kills in that movie.
yeah.
Maybe those first three.
What I heard about this film is that with the trailers, it shows the final showdown between Jamie Lee Curtis character and Michael Myers. So it's like, all right, yeah, this is the final fight. It's the final countdown, all that, and
which
then
which
it's it doesn't
they
live
don't
up to that.
last.
It's like
The
false
fight only
advertisement.
lasts for 15 minutes.
Like,
And not to say it's not a good fight, it's a great fight. But I was thinking going into this movie, I was gonna be seeing a whole fight between Michael Myers and Jamie Lee Curtis. Like the whole movie was just gonna be about her hunting him down, or him hunting her down, and just them out,
yeah, he killed,
cat and mouse kind of thing.
he
Ugh,
killed her daughter in the last one, I believe. So I figured she'd be wanting like blood.
revenge or
She'd
something.
definitely be wanting blood. And then I heard with the what's it called, the second Rob Zombie one, she ends up becoming Michael Myers in the end of that one.
I didn't watch that one. The
I've
H2O one
heard
or
about.
whatever.
That's not H2. I don't think
Oh
no.
no, yeah, yeah. I think he only has two, right? He only has two
Yeah, he only
Halloween movies.
has two, which were weird, is what I heard.
I didn't watch those.
The
But
one
yeah,
thing
this Halloween Ends, man. It was all right.
I
See,
want to mention though about the Halloween films. So you have like the story with the mask on how they got like a William Shatner Captain Kirk mask and just
yeah,
modified it and just painted white. Like in the first film, it does look good, but just I felt after that, like just seeing it in photos, it just looked goofy. It looked awful. And then with the newer films now, with the 2018, they made the mask look better.
yeah. The mask does look really nice. I like because it looks wear down. It looks like
Yeah,
a used mask. It looks really nice.
but like with the after the first film, everything with the like just the mask after the first film until the 2018 one. Well, maybe until the Rob Zombie ones, because the mask in that didn't look too bad. But I don't know. It's like with the mask after that, just didn't really look good, in my opinion.
Yeah,
Like so, it's like I don't know. I just felt something like you cannot take this seriously. Like you cannot really take the serial killer seriously if they look goofy. I don't know.
I see what you're saying. I mean, that's not always true. Look at Freaky Friday. That's Vince
Friday?
Vaughn.
Oh, Freaky. What? Yeah, it's called
Oh, is it?
Freaky. Yeah.
Oh, Freaky, yeah.
Then I don't. Okay. Vince Vaughn in that film, like as the serial killer, it's like, okay, yeah, I could get him being like a. No, he's super tall, so it's like, okay, yeah, he does fit the. That I guess he could fit that type of character, but just him acting as Catherine Newton's character, like it, her in his body, just the teenage girl, was just absolutely hilarious. Like,
Yeah.
I think he's just kind of like perfectly nailed it as a teenage girl, similar to Jack Black in the Jumanji films.
Yeah. All right, so that's my review for Halloween Ends. There's I guess that's our review for 2022 horror films that came out this year.
Rank
Not
them.
to say that all of them. If I would really had to rank them real quick, Barbarian number one. I gotta think. Barbarian number one. I guess Nope number two.
Nope, number two. I figured you have Nope at number one.
Barbarian was way better in my opinion.
Wow.
Yeah, you gotta watch it.
Yeah.
Nope. I think go
One day.
Barbarian, Nope, and then what else did I would say? Do we have Prey, and then we have Hellraiser. Let me see. Barbarian, Nope.
Freaky?
Freaky didn't come out this year.
No. I meant
Fresh.
Fresh. The one with
That's what I'm
The one
thinking.
with Bucky.
I'm thinking between Fresh or Prey.
Hmm.
I would say I had more fun watching Prey. So Barbarian, Nope, Prey, Fresh, and then Hellraiser and Halloween Ends.
Okay, interesting.
Not to say that those movies weren't the only movies that came out. Like 2022 has been a great year for movies, in my opinion.
Yeah.
There's so many good ones I still haven't seen. I want to watch X. I want to watch Smile. I still want to watch. I still haven't seen the new Scream movie. I want to watch the new Chainsaw Massacre movie.
There's that
And
Ethan Hawke one also.
yeah, Black
Phone
Phone.
Booth. Something. That was
Black Phone.
Okay, yeah. That's the guy who
Phone
directed
Booth.
I don't know. I know it's Ethan Hawke and it has the guy who directed the first Doctor Strange film.
The Orphan First Kill, which is a prequel to The Orphan. I need to watch.
I heard about that one, I think.
Yeah, and then I just had it in my head. Terrifier, Terrifier, I think it's called the clown movie.
Terrifier 2 is what it's called.
I need to watch that one.
I heard with that one, it
great.
is so great that people were like leaving the theater vomiting.
If you've seen the first one, it was really gory, and this one's even more gory. So just overall,
great has a role in the new one.
Great year for horror movies. Smile, I think I said that already, and it's not over. We still have to watch Winnie the Pooh, which is probably gonna be the best one of the year.
Oh yeah, is that coming out this year?
Yeah. And we can't forget about Jeepers Creepers, that new Jeepers Creepers movie. I haven't seen it, but I heard real bad at that. Comes out this year, man. I don't know when.
November 18, 2022. Holy crap.
For sure, we're doing a review on that one, guys.
Aren't they making the Grinch Halloween? Like a Grinch?
It's a spoof.
I know.
Yeah, that's what they're saying. We have to watch. We have to do a review on that one, though, Brandon.
Oh,
the Winnie the Pooh one. It's gonna be so funny. It looks like a low budget film, but what can you expect?
Oh man, that one's gonna be like a what the heck is this type film.
All right. I guess if you had to rank Morbius and Werewolf by Night, what would you rank them?
Honestly, Morbius that does not have any like horror type feels to it and all that. If anything, Doctor Strange had. Well, then again, Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness was directed by the GOAT Sam Raimi. So it did have its horror vibes in it, but like with the Sam Raimi style, so it's kind of corny, but it's Sam Raimi. What do you expect?
Yeah, Sony really messed up with the freaking Morbius. They could have made that a horror film.
Yeah.
Or at least horror elements to it.
But Werewolf by Night, you could tell that took a lot of inspiration from like the 50s Universal monster type film.
Yeah.
films to it. So watching a lot of like I guess horror element ones from Multiverse of Madness, Nope, Prey, and Werewolf by Night. Best one I gotta give it to Werewolf by Night, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
because
can
like
see. Yeah. I can
yeah, and
see that.
then Multiverse of Madness, and then
Morbius.
Morbius isn't even on the list. It's like no, this is the thing with Morbius
Oh
though.
my
Okay,
god! You know what else I forgot to talk
no
about?
horror film, no like nothing to do with like horror. Maybe like a bit suspenseful with Morbius at times. That's it. Wow, it's not like the Blade films where it's like okay, vampires and all that. Okay, you kind of get like a Halloween type feel when watching Blade in a way. You get like
You know
that
what
horror type.
we forgot to mention? We're gonna get a lot of hate probably in the comments. Is Day Shift. It came out
I
this
have
year
not
as well.
seen that one, but you've seen it. You want to? You could talk about
Uh,
it.
I'm just gonna give a quick review. It was a good movie for sure. A minus or B. A minus. It was really good,
A
really
minus,
fun.
really? Wow.
It
Okay.
was a really fun movie, in my opinion. If you like vampire hunter movies, and if you like Jamie Foxx, it was a fun movie. You have a good time. Well, you have to remember this is a Netflix film, so don't go expecting The Irishman.
Yeah.
It's not that type of Netflix film. It's just a fun. So I guess if Brandon wants to get into his ranking.
So even though unfortunately I haven't watched a lot of horror films, but there's so many I want to watch. I want to get into the Scream movies because I've heard good things about those. With the Halloween films, I'm not gonna lie, I don't know really where to start with those, but I do want to get into them eventually. Let's see what else. Evil Dead. I definitely want to watch the Evil Dead films, but I just cannot find the first Evil Dead on any streaming service for some reason. Even looking it up on Amazon, the first one just on Amazon Prime, Amazon Fire Stick, it just doesn't pop up on any streaming service. So that one was that's kind of frustrating. So I'm gonna have to like buy the 4K of it soon eventually. And no, there's lots of I've seen like kind of like I guess low or like the unknown type ones. The like recently I watched the Fear Street trilogy that's on Netflix, and I was really impressed by that one because of how like I don't know, it's like the watching it you can obviously tell it takes a lot of inspiration from Friday the 13th of Scream and um I can't think of the name of it, but The Wits I think it's called. I'm not sure, but yeah, in my opinion, like there's still a lot I need to watch. But I also watched the Babysitter ones that are also on Netflix, and those were like hilariously good and like gory too. So those were fun. Ready or Not, that was another good one in my opinion. Like had like dark comedy mixed with
Is that
horror.
the
It
one
was
with Chris Evans? Or is that no?
no,
That's Knives Out. My bad.
that's a mystery.
Yeah,
Ready
yeah,
or
you're right.
Not, it's has the Samara Weaving, who many say that she looks like Margot Robbie. It's like the one who gets married into the family and they play hide and seek, but it's like a killer
Oh
hide and
yeah, yeah,
seek.
yeah. That was a pretty good one. Yeah,
That
I
was
remember that one.
I was impressed by that one. I heard many good things about it, so I found it at Best Buy for $10. I'm like, okay, well, let's get it. And I watched it eventually, and I'm like, I was impressed with it. She did phenomenal in that film for sure. Then you have some other. Well, these are not really um Halloween horror types, but like you got some thrillers. Like one good one in my opinion is the cult classic American Psycho. with
Oh
Kristen
yeah,
Bell. That was like a really
yeah,
good one, and in the end, just kind of has you like, wait, what?
yeah. That was really good. That is a really good one.
Yeah, I could tell why it's a cult classic.
American Psycho, really good, man. I think I was when Breaker. Well, not. He was already famous by that point,
He wasn't.
but that one
He was
kind of like
still not well known.
elevated his career to a whole new level.
Yes,
His method acting. He was he method acting at that time or no?
he wasn't really that known at. Well, not really too well known, but I'm pretty sure he was. Yeah, he
No,
was
for America.
actually, because when he met the creator of the
Yeah.
book, the writer of the book, he stayed in character, and like the writer was so creeped out, he begged him to like stop being in character.
No, really? I didn't know that.
Yes. Yeah, of course you
Yeah.
got it. There's other horror films out there based on the one and only Stephen King stuff, even though I have not seen many
Well,
of those
well,
films.
well, American Psycho. Well, what's your favorite kill in the movie? Or is it only one kill? There's only one kill in the whole movie, ain't there?
No, because he kills the girl with the chainsaw by dropping it from the stairwell,
So two kills in the movie.
and then he
It's been a
kills the
while since I've
homeless.
seen the
He
movie.
kills the homeless guy and the dog.
I guess the most famous kill, the iconic kill, is the
But
one where he kills Jared Leto.
the Batman kills the Joker.
I guess that has to be the most iconic. That's also the iconic scene in the
Hey,
movie.
Paul.
Hey, Paul.
But moving on from American Psycho, you have the films based off the great Stephen King books. You know, from like the Signing was Stephen King himself despises that film because of how different it was from the book.
That's crazy. I love that film.
No, and what's crazy though is that like with the Doctor Sleep, because Doctor Sleep is more of a sequel to that version. So like with
Okay.
it, you know, some of the like Doctor Sleep has a lot of changes to the book too, but the director talked about it with Stephen King at first, and he gave him his blessing and said that after watching the film, he's like, okay, it makes me appreciate that version of the Signing a bit more. So, in my opinion, Doctor Sleep is probably one of the best ones. Doctor Sleep,
I
yeah,
still haven't seen that one. I need to watch it.
it's really good, and Ewan
I hear
McGregor in
you
that
praise it a
role,
lot.
yeah, Ewan McGregor is just phenomenal in that role. And then you have the first It, well, not first film, but like the 2017 reboot of It. And in my opinion, that was another good one. I feel like that kind of like that does have a bit of a following behind it too. And like I remember my uncle described it to me. It's like the Goonies, but with horror in it. And so it's like, okay, yeah, I can definitely see that. No, and this, it was very good. And Bill as Pennywise, he is one creepy motherfucker for sure. Oh man.
For sure,
But
man. That
do you
smile he
remember
gives.
but do you remember back in
Oh man.
2017 when like there would be clowns all over, like kinda
Oh
like on the
yeah,
streets and all that?
that whole trend going around. You see, find clowns in the woods, just in the
But just on
yeah,
just in the streets in general.
yeah, just standing or being creepy as fuck.
Yeah, it was just and then you had
Weird
It
time.
Chapter 2, which it was an okay conclusion, but at the same time, in my opinion, that film is bloated. Though it's like the middle act, the second in the middle, it's just the same thing with each of the Losers Club over and over and over and over again, and so it's just yeah, I
Yeah,
don't know, it's
I
just
would
so
agree with
bloated.
you. The first one is probably the better half of the
Mm.
series.
But like with the first one, though, I'm not gonna lie. If they decided to just leave it at that and not make the second one, I felt
Well, they
that would
have
be
to make the
fine.
second one. Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie. I
they
just
had
felt it
to.
would have been fine because I don't know, like the second one kind of, with the first one, it kind of gives off like, okay, this isn't a bad ending
Yeah.
in a way. So it's like if they decide not to do it, the second one, I'm fine with it. But I think they are doing a prequel. Something I remember reading something that they're planning on doing some type of prequel with the It franchise. So that one will be interesting to see if it happens. And then another like Stephen King one I watched was the reboot of Pet Cemetery. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't really care much for this one, to be honest.
Well, have you seen the original one?
I have not.
Yeah, the original one is freaky as f, man. This one was alright, the newer one,
Yeah.
but the
Uh,
original one is where it's better, man. You should watch the original one.
one day, then and yeah, so there are many other horror films too. Well, Halloween type films from you got Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark, which I'm not gonna lie, that one was kind of a miss for me. But I don't know, some of it kind of looked too goofy, but yet
Is
I don't
that
know
the
how
one
to
with
explain it.
there's one scene with the guy, he turns into a scarecrow, right?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, and then there is a freaking one scene that messed me up was the one in the hospital and the red lights and that one
Oh yeah,
whatever that fucking creature was
yeah.
comes to swallow that kid up whole with her stomach.
I remember that. And
I
then
bet
you
that shit
have
scarred you.
I don't remember much from it, to be honest, but I do kind of remember that.
I want to see, I want to hear your opinion. What Knife Thief was? I've never even heard of that movie, and I see that
Night
here on your
Teeth,
list. Yeah.
Night Teeth. That's like a. I gotta find a synopsis of it. Hang on, I don't remember how to like
Uh-oh.
fully explain it. It was a Netflix film, so it's like one of those lower type Netflix films.
Yeah, because I've never even heard of this movie. Night Thief. I'm guessing it has to do with vampires because of the
So it's a
poster.
vampire thriller film
Hey,
where
Sydney Sweeney's in this, and Megan Fox.
they're only for like one scene, then they get killed off camera.
Damn.
So it's like,
Debbie Ryan.
yeah, I said Debbie Ryan was in this.
Oh, this is the one you talked about with Debbie Ryan.
Mm-hmm. So in the movie, there's like vampires living like kind of like coexisted peacefully with humans for centuries, but there's one vampire who is played by the guy who pretty much had John Wick's dog killed in the first John Wick film, going to fuck it up
All right,
and
I see.
all that.
I'm seeing
So
one
they
review.
so they're going so it just leads to chaos happening and all that with the vampires and everything, some following him and all that, and you got like kind of I guess like the vampire hunters and everything too. So like it's not bad, but
But it's not good.
it's not one of those films like, oh my god, this is the best film ever. Oh my god, this is groundbreaking. No, it's like, oh okay, that's a kind of like I guess maybe like some type of a fun film to watch or like something like that. But at the same time, just not one to like watch ever again. Probably.
All right, here's one of the popular reviews, and let me see your opinion on this. So we got Megan Fox and Sydney Sweeney as sexy blood-sucking vampires, but at what cost?
They they were literally in it. It was just one scene. I guess they were like the higher ups in the vampire clan, and then the guy who is messing up everything for the vampire just kills them. It's like you're not going to get in
Oh
my
boy,
way. I'm taking over and something like that. I actually reviewed this film last year.
would you give it?
I gave it like 2.5 stars out of 5, and
Yeah, that's what most people are giving it.
I'd
I'm
say it
looking at
was
it over here.
interesting as it had its moments. It's nothing too big. There we go. It's nothing too big, but it's entertaining for the most part. And
Hmm.
it's like, for like a Halloween type film, it's like, okay, watch it once. That's it. Then there was another Netflix one that came out last year too, called Night Books, I believe. That one was more like a kids teen, I guess. One was Sam Raimi was a producer for that one.
Night
Stars
Kids.
Night Books.
I
It
haven't seen that one either.
stars Kristen Ritter as like the witch or something like that. She like kidnaps kids to like write stories in a way. It was interesting. You know, Kristen Ritter, to those that don't know her, see as Jessica Jones in the Marvel Netflix
Oh,
shows.
okay.
Still
Yeah,
waiting for
yeah.
her to come back. That's the character, but yeah, you know, that was now with Netflix. They kind of like have like these entertaining, interesting horror type films that are like, oh, okay, that was something. No, not bad, not real good. Just okay, nice. That's it. What's nothing wrong with that, you know.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I see what you're saying, man.
yeah,
Netflix is just, you know,
Netflix
it
and
has
chill.
hits and miss. Huh?
Netflix and chill, pretty much. A lot of content
I
you can do
guess.
that with. But the best franchise for Halloween and all that, obviously Zombieland.
Oh yeah. I mean, there's only two movies,
Yeah, I know,
but
but
yeah,
they're both really good. And then
yeah, they're
you
both pretty
got
good. What was your favorite of the two, though? Double Tap or just Zombieland?
the first one. But the second one's still really good too, but I think I like the first one more.
Yeah, I have to agree.
And then you have the highly debatable film on whether or not it's a Halloween film or not, and it's The Nightmare Before Christmas.
Dang, man, I can see it as both, man, but I guess
Yeah.
more of a, I don't know, man. I don't know. I guess more of a, I don't even know.
I
I
feel
don't
like
even
it
know.
has
A
more
Christmas?
Halloween vibes in it, to be honest, I guess, because of the horror characters that are in it, I guess. But like
Yeah, but
the scary
yeah,
vibes, I guess, from like the Halloween town and all that, and then I don't know. I do. In my opinion, it counts as
that's Tim
both.
Burton, right?
Obviously,
Tim Burton.
he wrote it, and I think he produced it too. But he was not. He did not direct it. The guy who directed it is having a new movie on Netflix. I think it just came out, and
Produced
Jordan
with
Peele, produced by Jordan Peele. I forgot the name of the film. Wendell and Wild. It's right now on Netflix. If only we were sponsored
huh?
by them. If only we were sponsored by Netflix to
Yeah.
advertise this stuff. Yeah, I heard interesting things about it. Yeah, there's that one. But
Halloween.
to
Fuck.
the
What's it called
viewer
again?
that is to the viewer that is listening to this, do you think Nightmare Before Christmas is a Halloween film, a Christmas film, or both?
Yeah, I guess you could
Let's
technically watch it whenever. What?
yeah.
When do you watch it more?
Comment
Like
it down below.
you were a kid. When you were a kid, did you watch it more during Halloween or more during Christmas time?
Halloween, honestly.
Really? We had it all the time during Christmas, bro. I think
Because
for
really
us it
with
was a
Christmas, I was just watching other films in a way. It's like, I don't really want to feel like rewatching this, even though I just watched it like 2 months
2 months
ago.
ago.
So, I don't know. That's how I always saw it.
Yeah, but Santa Claus, man, he kills Santa Claus, or he
He
doesn't kill him, but
kidnaps
he has
Santa Claus. And
kidnaps Santa Claus. Yeah,
then he has to save Santa Claus from the Oogie Boogie, whatever that creature's name was.
Jack Skeleton.
Still, that is a classic. Halloween classic for Halloween, Christmas classic for sure. Um, is there any Halloween film or any like type of film like that you would like to talk about? That is,
There's one I think Tim Burton directed. It was there's actually a lot by Tim Burton. Freaking the
that's
Batman, the original Batman was but I was gonna say Corpse Bride. You ever seen that one?
Oh, I've heard of it. I've seen a little bit of it, but I never
You
watched
haven't
the
seen
full
Corpse
thing.
Bride? Oh my god, so good.
Oh, I've
So
heard of
good.
it though. Tim Burton is a legend though when it comes to like, I guess, horror in a way, because he has a bit of like a dark romanticism type feel in his movies. You know, and dark romanticism.
Yeah, there's
That's in Edgar Allan Poe's writing.
yeah, have you seen Edward Scissorhands?
No, I haven't.
I don't know how you want to do this podcast, man. Freaking Edward Scissorhands, Sweeney Todd.
I've heard
Corpse
many
Bride.
good things. They're all on my list to watch.
Oh boy, bro, you should have watched them before we did the horror Halloween podcast. They're so good, man. So good.
Yeah. What you
For
like to
real.
talk about?
I can't remember them either, dog. I gotta rewatch them, but
What do you like to talk about?
my favorite one was Sweeney Todd.
Hmm.
I was
I've heard
obsessed with that one in
Sweeney
high
Todd.
school.
I had Johnny Depp, so it's like, of course, Tim Burton and Johnny Depp go way back.
Oh yeah, no, for sure, man. I think hopefully they still work together. Hopefully they make another movie in the future, even due to all this controversy that's been happening in the past.
Yeah.
Or in the past, is it this year that all that shit happened?
Yeah, oh my god, that was this year. It feels like years ago now.
Right? But yeah, no, man, it was good. He makes good horror. If you like horror, movies, but that are not not too scary, just some fun, good horror theme vibes, you'll love his films for sure, man.
Yeah. One film series I've heard, I guess, somewhat mixed things about through the years, and then you had the reboot, then you have the original series continuing. It's Chucky.
Oh yeah, it has a whole new show on Sci-Fi. I think I watched the first couple
Yeah.
episodes on YouTube, but it's really good. I'm
Yeah,
a big Chucky fan too.
I've seen like, I remember one time, like, I guess in Costa Rica, I guess I was with family. I was a kid, and like one of them was watching it on TV. Like one of my family members was watching it on TV, and I was just like, "What the hell?" And it's just kind of like, it just freaked me out. So it's like, I'm scared for toys at the moment. And I
Have
remember,
you seen any of those movies like in full?
no, I only seen that one episode from the first episode of season 2 with you and a friend of ours, which was
It's different, but for sure.
is different.
And the first season was oh man, we gotta watch those. But yeah, Chucky's back, man. I'm glad how
And then you got the reboot
Brandon
with Mark Hamill.
yeah, hopefully we can get Brandon to watch it so we can review the freaking series.
Yeah, might as well watch the reboot too, with Mark Hamill, as I believe they're planning on continuing that also.
I don't know. I don't know about that one. I think that one's on Hulu or HBO. It's on a streaming service. I know that.
I've heard that they're planning on making a sequel to that, but I don't remember exactly if they are or what.
Mark Hamill. It was it's not to say that it wasn't good, but it's different, It was good for what it was. I'm still glad that we have the original director from all those years ago, having his own thing.
Yeah.
And this will be cool to see them continuing. Excuse me, this new one with the AI technology and how, I don't know, the modern day kind of Chucky. Even though what they're doing now with the series is modern day, and they're doing it pretty well in my opinion.
Yeah. It was interesting, but I feel like it's something you need to watch from the beginning to like fully understand in a way.
If this video gets 10 likes, Brandon will watch the whole Chucky series from the first movie all the way to the new series.
Oh my gosh.
Right, Brandon? Make a promise right now.
Yeah, okay, yeah. So this video gets 10 likes, I will happily do that.
Oh, snap. All right, guys. Like the video.
Yep. And Okay, so without further ado, out of all the horror films, the horror, thriller, slasher, and all that, which one would you say is your top favorite?
My favorite horror movie of all time is I've said this before, is a Chainsaw Massacre. The whole series. I love those movies. So I think those were one of the first horror movies that I remember really liking as a kid. The remake they had, I think I don't know what year it was, 2008 or 2011.
Something like I think so.
That remake was one of the best horror remakes ever made in any franchise, to give it to say that for the least. It was really good. I When I was older, I watched the one they did in the 70s for the first time, and it was spectacular, bro. That character, Leatherface, is one of my favorite horror icons of all time. And
Hmm.
his series, he's my favorite horror, I guess, character icon of all time. So yeah,
Yeah.
Leatherface, in my opinion, 10 out of 10. I still want to watch the Netflix one, even though all these bad reviews, but I haven't gotten around to it. I know he's my favorite character and all that,
I
but
get that. I get that. So
I don't know, man. It sucks, man.
I
It
say
sucks if it's as bad as they say it is. But I'll give it a try. I need to watch it. But yeah, Chainsaw Massacre, man.
I
The
would say
remake
my
and the 70 ones.
I would say my favorite like horror icon, even though I never seen these movies. I gotta go with Ghostface for some reason. I don't know why. I just love the costume. I just love the mask of it. Just looks I don't know, just looks it's just appealing in a way. It's like, okay, this is freaky in a way, I guess. And I don't know, sometimes I still think of the scene from the first scary movie where it's like, what's up? That's one of my
Yeah.
favorite comedy scenes ever, but yeah, my favorite horror icon, Ghostface for sure. But my favorite horror film, I feel like saying Zombieland will be seating. So Doctor Sleep, of course. I don't know. I just
That's your favorite horror film of all time?
yeah, that and of course Zombieland. But Zombieland isn't really a horror film. Zombies, but I don't know. I love them both, but I gotta go with Doctor Sleep. Just that film was just really good, disturbing, suspenseful, and I liked how it added more, and we saw more of the Signing universe that was introduced in the now with the Signing and all that, and we dive more deep into and just Ewan McGregor in that film just nailed it. Like in my opinion, he deserved an award for that. He deserved an Oscar for that. But yeah,
I haven't seen that one. I've seen The Shining and I've read the book, The Shining, and it's really good.
yeah, you need to
I heard,
watch
I
that
heard a
one.
lot of good. Yeah, I heard a lot of good things from Doctor Sleep. You keep mentioning it too.
Yeah. All right. And what would you say is your like the most underrated horror, Halloween, slasher, thriller type film you watched?
That I've watched.
Yeah,
Oh,
that is like
like this
okay,
year at
like
all time.
all time that where it's like, okay, this isn't like I don't know, it's like you're hearing like maybe mixed stuff about it or like you saw a trailer of it and you're like, I don't know about this one, and then watching it, it's like, okay, this was actually a lot of fun. You end up liking it more than how you expected.
I don't know. You go first. Let me think of one.
Okay. Hansel and Gretel Witch Hunters.
Oh, never mind. I should have known first.
I don't know why, because I remember watching it, like, I think it was last year or back in 2020. Because, like, it looked dumb. And I'm not going to lie, it is kind of a dumb film. But it is just, I just had fun with it. It's like the kills were fun. I don't know. It's just one of those dumb films that's like, okay, yeah, this is kind of underrated. It's dumb, but it's just entertaining in a way. So, yeah, in my opinion, that will be like one of the underrated ones I've seen. and
Damn, bro, I really
maybe
don't
the
know, man.
babysitter films too. Yeah,
Why the babysitter ones? Why is that underrated?
I don't know. I don't know because sometimes I try talking about it with some people and they're like, no, I never seen that. And it's like,
I don't even know what that was,
no,
man.
it just looks dumb, and it's like, oh, okay.
I guess for underrated horror films, uh, there's this one on Netflix called I forgot what it was called. Let me see. Hold up. I think it's called The Level or Floor. It's a movie. It's a horror, not really horror, but kind of thriller movie made in Spain.
Okay,
Uh, you never have you heard about it?
sounds familiar, honestly.
Let me see if I could look it up. Level Netflix Level. Oh, Platform. The Platform. That's what it's called. I don't know if it's underrated, but for sure, one of my one of my horror favorite horror films that hasn't really been talked about as much, at least from my group of friends. You know, it's made in Spain, and it's about a guy. It's about the main protagonist is he's just a random average guy who joins this program. I guess it's a military program to try to beat an addiction, and these people go into this military or this one I guess military base, yeah, and they have to stay there for a whole year to try to beat the addiction. This guy's trying to kick cigarettes, and you get stuck. So there's like I guess it's like a building, like let's say there's like 300 floors,
Mm-hmm.
and each month you're in one floor for 1 month, and you don't know what floor you're gonna be in every time you wake up when the month is over. So if you're so the main thing is how they eat or how they get their food. So there's a big platform. So you're in a room, but then the room has a giant hole in the middle, and there's a big platform that comes all the way down from the first floor, and it has to reach on to the 300th floor. And there's only a certain amount of food on the platform. So if you're lucky and you're on the first 50 floors, you get to eat pretty well. You have a whole bunch of food. You don't really have to fight for it. But let's after the 50th or 60th floor, you're screwed because all you're getting is the leftovers from everybody
Oh
else that's
man.
above you. And that's only 50, and there's 300 floors. So if you're stuck in number 250, you're not going to be eating anything but maybe bones or feces or piss from other people that are just above you. That was a pretty horror movie because
Oh man, that sounds
there's not
gross.
really it's not gross. It's not really gross, but it's more of a psychological. Because
Interesting.
there's not really a main villain. The main villain is because you're also with a roommate. You're not by yourself in these rooms.
Mm-hmm.
It's you and one other person.
Oh, so
So
that
you
could be
have to
fun.
and
You
you don't
kill
know
each other.
you don't know the stranger. Yeah, that if you're in the bottom floor, you might be trying to kill your other roommate just to eat because you have nothing else to eat. So
Yeah.
yeah, for sure, that was probably one of the more underrated films of all time that I really haven't heard a lot of people talk about. You should watch it if you guys are into that kind of horror, thriller, suspenseful stuff. Platform. It's on Netflix. Watch it in Spanish. Be a fucking grown up and read subtitles. That's my opinion. Yeah.
I guess one of the final questions. What is the worst horror film? Just any of these types of films, horror, slasher, terror, the thriller, all that. What is the worst one you would say that you watched?
Mm. You go first. I have to think, man. Fuck.
Okay, so The Dead Don't Die, which stars Adam Driver and Bill Murray. And you would think it's hilarious because this film has like an ensemble cast. It has uh, Selena Gomez, Danny Glover, um, uh, Tilda Swinton. It has like a lot of a lot of actors that you see and you'd be like, hey, I know that guy. Well, I know that one. I know them from this one film. And it's like, with this film, it had all these names, and it's supposed to be a comedy, right? It's supposed to be like a horror comedy zombie type film, but it was as dull, boring, forgetful. It wastes everyone in the film pretty much. And kind of like watching it, it's like you have Adam Driver, Bill Murray, a lot of these great actors. What did you do to convince them to star in this garbage?
Contracts, money. I don't know.
Yeah, pretty much. It had to be a lot of money. Like, there was like one scene that made me chuckle. It was when Adam Driver like had a keychain of like I think it was something of Star Wars on his car keychain. And he's Kylo Ren, so it's like that made me laugh. But other than that, it was kind of dumb. It was pretty dumb. It was not dumb fun, just it was just a terrible film, honestly. So I would say that's probably unfortunately the worst film, in my opinion.
What was it called?
The Dead Don't Die.
Okay. Well, I thought you would be going with American Psycho too.
I never seen that.
Oh,
we don't talk about that. Mila Kunis has said, "Oh God, that's just embarrassing. When I signed up to do it, it was something else. Please don't watch this. Boycott it. Oh my gosh." So we don't acknowledge that. Out of respect for Mila Kunis.
All right. Well, I guess I guess the worst. I don't even know if this is horror, but it has horror elements. I guess it's not even that scary. It's not even. I don't know. I watch, but it's on Tubi. If you guys have Tubi, it's a free streaming service.
Yeah.
You're gonna probably laugh at me. Probably not even think this is. You're probably gonna not even think this is real. But it's. I literally just watched it last week. It's called Trump versus the Illuminati.
What the? I heard something about that. I didn't.
It's the worst piece of garbage. Oh my God.
I'm gonna be honest.
Not to say like
pick another film, because what?
I don't even know what the worst horror movie, man. That has to be that one. Let me see. I don't know.
Not.
I'm trying to think, man.
Why would you watch that? It's like, oh man,
I couldn't even finish it. That's one of the movies I couldn't even finish. And I watch weird movies, man.
I heard the Monsters film that is directed by Rob Zombie. I heard terrible things about that one. Or terrible things about films from the Halloween franchise, especially Halloween 3, as apparently it had nothing to do with Michael Myers.
I guess that would be one of the least.
I'm trying to think of all the other awful horror films I've heard of.
I'm looking at some on Google to see if I've seen any of these.
Worst.
The Leprechaun wasn't that bad.
I never seen
more
those.
Like comedy. Okay, I guess I could mention this one, but I haven't really seen it. I just watched some of it, some clips. It's called The Happening. Have you guys heard of that one?
Oh, that has a Marky Mark. I've heard of that one.
So that was pretty bad. Probably one of the worst movies in general. I would say that one if I had to choose something else besides Trump versus the Illuminati.
Yeah. I
would have to say The Happening with Mark Wahlberg. Bad movie, bad horror film, not good at all. Don't watch it. It's on HBO if you want to watch it.
Yeah. There's one horror film I would say is also underrated called We Summon the Darkness. It came out in 2019 and it has Alexandra Daddario. It has Johnny Knoxville. Has like this batshit crazy preacher. It was on Netflix. but it's like
If you guys
I
want to
just
watch,
remembered it now, so I'm like, okay, yeah, I completely forgot about this one, but
if you guys want to watch a movie that make you stay up all night, watch Wreck. If you've seen Wreck, you
is
guys will probably Wreck.
that
It's
the one you were telling me about, the Japanese one?
no, Wreck is also made in Spain. They have an Americanized version of it, which is not good at all. It's called the American one. Fuck, I don't know what it's called. Let me see. But Wreck is just it's lost footage. I think it's called those types of movies where they all the footage is just like either with videotapes or with video cameras. My bad, or CTV cameras. Well, the English version of Wreck is called Quarantine. If you ever seen that one. But yeah, Wreck is another good movie if you like find footage horror films. Yeah, I think that would do it, man. I think we're going to be going on for what, 5 hours, 3 hours?
Pretty much, yeah. Honestly, because we were talking for a lot, and you know, before we leave, let's recommend one film to the viewer. I would say,
One film?
yeah, one film. Well, one horror type film.
Okay, you
I
go first.
recommend We Summon the Darkness. Was that
Nice,
one?
nice.
That one's kind of like a crazy cult type horror thriller film. It's very interesting. So yeah, I recommend that one. Uh it was on Netflix, but I don't know if it still is.
Uh, okay, I guess I'll go. One of the ones I could recommend you guys. I already said it here, but yeah, Wreck. Honestly, if you guys are into that found footage horror film, you want to get shared shit that's out of your mind, Wreck is a good one. It delivers every single time.
Nice, nice. All right.
Or
Well,
also, my bad. Also, since I already said Wreck before, but I would also recommend An American Werewolf in London, which is really good.
that's a classic one. I forgot all about that one.
Yeah, if you guys want to watch something like that,
That
you
was
guys will
a
like it.
good one. Well,
You watched it?
yeah, I had to watch it for class one last 2 years ago, last year.
Mm. All right. Well,
Yep, that concludes this episode of the podcast. Hopefully, next year we will have watched a lot more horror films, so we could talk about Scream, Halloween, Chucky, the Psycho, Alfred Hitchcock films.
hmm
There's a lot of that stuff in general. But if you're listening to us, what is your favorite horror, thriller, slasher film? That's, I don't know, film that you like to watch around Halloween time. Let us know down below. And thanks for listening to us.
and thank you for joining us into our journey into fantasy.
Have a good Halloween and happy Halloween, everybody.
Happy Halloween, everybody.